That gives me AGITA, which brings me to our Italian-American word of the week, AGITA. AGITA is basically heartburn or aggravation. Cawfee Talk. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cawfee Talk. I'm Cannistraci, your host. This is Cawfee Talk, where the coffee's hot and the talk is real. I forgot that line in a few of them. Anyway, guys, good morning. I hope you are feeling great. I hope you had a great week. We are in February. I don't know where you are listening to. I hope, I don't know, God knows the weather in New York has been horrendous. But I'm here in LA, and I'm not going to lie, I don't hate it. I'm not going to be one of those obnoxious people, though, that puts, like, her toes in the sand while there's, like, a blizzard in New York. I hate people who do that.
But they are in the sand when it's happening. You're just not documenting it.
Right, I'm not telling anybody about that. But that gives me AGITA, which brings me to our Italian-American word of the week, AGITA. Guys, the best part about this word is that it was the most requested after I did the Shangad. After I did Shangad, everybody wanted to hear Mushad and they wanted to hear AGITA. AGITA is aggravation. Basically, it's when you're bothered by someone's getting on your nerves. That happens a lot with Italians. It also is heartburn. So if you had a marinara and the tomatoes, the acidity of the tomatoes aggravates you, it gives you AGITA. I actually used the word to describe it because I don't know how to say it other way. It gives you like heartburn or indigestion. Is that how you say that word? Indigestion?
Indigestion, yeah.
That is AGITA. AGITA is basically heartburn or aggravation. And I realized that I no longer want to be... Listen, we're going to get aggravated. You can drive in your car and get aggravated at somebody, a light or whatever. There are scenarios you can't plan or people you can't control. They're going to do or say things to you that are going to aggravate you. You guys may be listening to this right now and be like upset about something a friend did or a spouse, or to say we're never going to get aggravated again is impossible. But I think the level to which I allow people to get to me has got to be changed. I am too affected by the actions and words of other people. So much to the point that I could fixate, which eats up a lot of my time and my peace and my sanity. And I don't want it to be the recurring theme because I don't want to keep saying it, but it happened over the holidays. And listen, that's when we are forced to see a lot of people, but it could just happen on a daily. A lot of people feel it in the workforce. I am, now that I've switched careers, I have made a conscious effort to only want to work with certain people. And yes, it's based off their talent, but it's also based off of what they do to my nervous system. I've worked with, guys, a lot of comedians before I was ever a name, which is not to say that I'm one now, but to say that, like, just working in the industry with other artists and artists who have egos, man, I never want to put myself in those situations again. I look at people now as I start to see myself where they once were, and I think, I would never treat people the way they treated me. I would never disregard or intentionally be mean or upset someone because I, felt that I was entitled to. I mean, I just could not think that way. But there are a lot of people, and listen, I've had terrible bosses in the Board of Education and in other careers in my life that just literally, that feeling when you have to walk into work and you're sick to your stomach, that's AGITA. And we can't all control like we need a paycheck, we need to pay our bills, we sometimes feel stuck, right? Like you have to work this job or you have to be around this person because, you've in the job so long, or you need the money, or you can't see a way out. That causes agita. That causes agita when you're home because you have to eventually go back to that place of business. I talked about like getting the Sunday anxieties, and this happened even when I loved my job. But that feeling of having to like know the start of the week was coming, that like anxious feeling, or like having to go somewhere I didn't want to go. It's like it eats at you. It burns inside of you, right? It's like heartburn, aggravation. It's all those things that we use to describe that word agita. And let me tell you something. Brioche can't cure all the agita you have in your, oh, sorry, let's move that down. Brioche can't cure all the agita you have, right? Because some of it is up here, and then it causes the aggravation here and here. And I've learned that about myself, that there are just, I have to, and we like I said, you can't avoid everybody. It'd be so easy if it could be like, well, I don't like my job, so I'm going to quit. Or no, I don't like, being around this certain family member, so I'm just never going to see them again. A lot of times we are married into these families, or we have other obligations, or, it's a job that we love. We just have to be around one person that we don't. So it's, you can't eliminate everything. I was reading the book by Mel Robbins called Let Them, and it's very easy. Let them is essentially like, let people do what they want, let people think what they want, and you can't be affected by it, is the essential, like, really quick description of it. But the let them could almost make you think like, all right, I could be without these people. You can't be without everybody. You can't be without everything. You can't go with this world alone. And trust me, I have tried. I have tried eliminating a lot of people from my life. At the end of the day, and I've said this before, I get up on that stage alone. I did not get up on that stage alone. It takes a lot of people in your life to get you to where you need to be. And even if it's the people that have caused you aggravation, those are lessons. I did this video the other day. It went so viral. It was basically, this is how the video first started. Mike had turned to me and said, if anything happened to me, would you still be able to live in this house? The house that we have made together, in the tragic event that he would pass early or something like that. And so I did a funny video where I dressed in black like I was mourning, and I was like throwing myself over the stove being like, this is where he never cooked me a meal. Or I'd go to my bedroom and be like, this is where he never made our bed. And I'd go to the toilet and be like, this is where he never even used this. And it would like the flush. Or I was on the couch and I was like, I can't even sit next to it. And it was just the remote control. And the funny part is, at the time, our deck was being redone. So I opened the door and I was like, this is the deck he never finished. People lost it. Women were, I heard the screams on the Instagram comments when I did this video. And then by chance, I grabbed the doorknob, like to close the door, and the doorknob fell off in my hands. And that's how the video ends. And everybody, I mean, when I tell you the biggest, most common themed comment on this reel was that doorknob was a paid actor. Like that's like the comedy gold. It's actually going viral right now. It's got over 1 million something views. But the thing is, I had posted it once before, but I posted it like a joke, like as if I was referring to the real meaning behind it, with my husband asking me this question. But then because I do these podcast episodes and I talk about things with you guys and I remember things, I remember that this is really the month where most couples file for divorce, whether it be a new tax year or you've spent too much time with your in-laws. Did I say that out loud? And so I said, I shortened the video a little bit. I tightened it up and I just said, when he says you'll never get over him after the divorce. And then I played the video. Oh, I just posted and ghosted. Like, I didn't think much of it until like the next day. I mean, I can check it now just so that you understand the level to which this video resonated. It's currently at 1,200,000 views. It's been saved on Instagram 3,600 times. It's been reposted 1,100 times. It has been shared 20,000 times. It's at 65,000 likes and 1,000 comments.
Oh my God, that's great.
Now, the theme is really centered around this week's Italian American Word of the Week. None of the women who were reposting this didn't get agita with their marriages, or men who repost, some men had comments to say that would be me. My wife didn't do anything. I wasn't posing it. I mean, it was obviously gender specific because I'm the wife. And the things I was talking about were most commonly not done by men. But some of the comments were actually positive, regardless if it was like, oh yes, my husband never did this, or my wife never did this. It was like, I am in the best place of my life right now, or I've never been happier. And it's like, that never been happier, that mentality, you don't know what's for you and what's not for you until you live it, until you go through the agita, the aggravation, the heartburn of it all. And I know now, after 13 years in comedy, after my second podcast producer, after, different openers, who I want to work with, who I want to be around. I know things about myself living with another human being that I think, wow, I God forbid something happened to Mike. I probably couldn't live with somebody else ever again. Or what would that even look like for me? Because I know so much about myself. I had to go through things. I had to get aggravated. I had to be upset to know what wasn't for me. And it's like, if you don't do that, then you're never living. You've got to make these mistakes. You've got to be upset. You've got to be around people who make you go, I don't ever want to be around people like this again. And you got to kind of have a little bit of that let them theory in you. That let them do what they want. I will find ways where they can't affect me. Otherwise, you're just going to live a life of agita. And as I said, certain things will be unavoidable. But I like to look at things now like I have no regrets. And trust me, I do. Right? When I think about if I could live my life a different way, would I have been with certain people or done certain things the way I did them? No. There are certain things I would have wanted to take out. But those are also things that gave me insight into who I am now and remind me, hey, I don't want to be that person again, or I don't want to make that choice again. Not even what other people, not even blaming other people, myself, my own actions, my own words, my own decisions, right? That's on me. I caused myself agita. I gave myself that aggravation. But if I didn't make that mistake, and if I didn't feel so low about myself because of it, I wouldn't have went the polar opposite way of what that was to get me to where I am, which is the other side, which is the brighter side. Listen, it's like so cliche when they go, oh, if it's a mistake, as long as you make it a lesson and don't do it again. I've made the same mistake twice. But eventually you realize, the error in your ways, or how to make things better, or how to improve things. But you really don't know unless you do it. And the same with shows. Like, I got to be honest, the other night I didn't feel like I had a great set. And I was like, oh, whatever this feeling is, I can't have this feeling. Guys, I'm getting to do Radio City Music Hall with Joe Coy. Doesn't make a difference. That one amazing thing I could still get down over a 10-minute set. Like, things sometimes don't offset things, right? It's like me going, okay, what do I got to do tonight now to not feel the way I felt the other night? What do I think I did wrong? I am constantly reflecting. And not in a way that's too consuming, but I'm doing it because I want to live a fuller, happier life. And we all have, like I said, I have a lot. I have 4 podcasts today and a show tonight and 2 writing sessions tomorrow, then another show. I could get lost in the sauce. I can get so busy and so aggravated by certain things if I don't go, okay, wait, what can I do right now? How did I feel yesterday? What did I do yesterday that worked? What did I do yesterday that didn't work? So, I don't know. I went into this year being like, I never want to feel how I did last year. And I'm talking about it with you guys because I know I am not in it alone. I can make jokes. I can crack jokes. We could, do the Italian American word, which you guys requested, AGITA, and I'm doing it. But I always want to pertain it to real life. And I always want these talks to feel like you're sitting down with a friend who's like telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Like I feel like a really good friend, if you have a really good friend, and I have one, shout out to the friends I don't speak to or see. I can call these women literally and say the greatest thing just happened to me or the worst thing just happened to me, and I'm going to be greeted by a real friend in that moment. It doesn't make a difference if I didn't maintain calling them every day or checking in or, everybody gets busy. I know I have real ones that I don't speak to and see every day. And I kind of feel like that's what I want this podcast to be. I can't always make a joke. I mean, I can say funny things and, I respond to almost everybody's comments, especially if they're on the YouTube link. But I want to be able to feel like I could say all the good things. And I know you guys are championing me. I know Tommy Stiggs just did a video about me performing at Radio City. I mean, the way you guys champion me is unbelievable. But the same goes that I'm going to say things and even get maybe more explicit about the mistakes I've made in my life without being judged, with you guys going, wow, I relate to that or I understand. So that's what I want these coffee talks, or at least the solo coffee talks, to be. Because I'd like to eliminate the agita in your life. So if you feel less alone because you've listened to this, then I've done my job. Guys, again, I love these talks, but seeing me in person is really what I want, because I promise you, if I can make you laugh, I remove a lot of agita from your life. My shows are all listed at tarajokes.com, Wesley Chapel, Florida, which may have already passed by the time I did this episode, Rochester, Naples, Florida, Ocala, Florida. I'm doing a special charity event, I believe, in Vero Beach, 3rd week in March. I'm finalizing those details now. It'll be on my website if it's up and going. Irvine, California, Detroit, Michigan, I think it's Royal Oak, Avenel, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Rhode Island. There are going to be more shows, guys. I'm just trying to find out where I need to put my time the most this year so I don't get agita. All right. I love you. Coffee Talk.